House. This is Sheena. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm Sheena. My name is Donna, and I'm calling because I saw my son was Googling things about suicide, and I got your number from someone. And I don't really know what to do, but she had said that your organization could help me and help him.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Donna, for calling us. We'll try to get somebody set up here, a therapist, to provide support for your son. Just right off the bat, can I just have your last name and your phone number?
Yeah, Donna Smith, and my number is 614-555-5555.
Great. Thank you. And now you did say that you heard about Solace from a friend of yours. Do you know if they might be a client here or if they've attended in the past?
No, they had, read about it from their social worker, and they had read about it on Facebook.
Sure, no problem. I can tell you a little bit more about our services just to kind of give you a fuller idea of what we do and make sure that it's the right fit for your son. Um, Basically, we provide free counseling, one-on-one counseling. Your son will be set up with a therapist, the same one every week. And that's just to build a relationship, a rapport with that therapist. It'll be the same time every week. And we don't require any insurance or anything like that. We do send out a confidentiality form. All of our services are completely confidential, and we just ask that you and your son, because he's under 18, to sign this form, as well as it's part of your consent to enter into therapy with us. And I'll send that electronically after our call, so you don't have to print anything out. It could just be signed right online. But do you have any questions about our services off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, he's in high school. I said he's 17, and so is it possible to get an appointment after school hours?
I have to double check our schedule, but I can certainly give you a call back once I go through a little bit of information, just so that way we have it on file. If there is a bit of a waiting period, we'll always provide resources or referrals if you are interested in those. But I will definitely look into what we can offer after school time and call you right back after our phone call now. But we have some openings that I know of right now that probably will be able to fit his schedule. But before we get to that, I'd love to just get down some general information so we have that on file, and then a little bit more about just kind of how he's feeling. And this is really to help our therapists who are going to see their clients, just an idea of who they're about to see and what's the best way to provide them support. Does all that sound okay to you?
Yeah, no, that all sounds
Great, thank you. So I'm just going to start with your son's date of birth.
yeah, 7/14/2003.
Great. And what's his name again?
His name is Noah Smith.
Perfect. And his identifying gender?
Male.
And his preferred pronouns?
He, they.
Great. And can you also share with me your address?
Yes, 123 Avenue, Manhattan.
Great. And just to note that we are doing remote services. So although we have a location in Queens and in Yonkers, right now it's all over phone or via Zoom, depending on your therapist. So hopefully that works out for you guys. Does that sound like that would be okay to do?
Yes, that works for us.
Great. Okay, so can I also have your email address first and then Noah's email address?
Yes, my email address is donna.smith@aol.com.
And then Noah's?
Noah loves soccer @gmail.
Perfect. And we just use these email addresses first to send you that confidentiality form to get your consent. And also if there's any other resources or referrals that we can provide to you guys. Other than that, we won't be contacting you in any other way. And do you want to be put down as Noah's emergency contact?
Yes, yes, please put me down as his emergency contact. And when will I be contacted? You know, what will I
Sure.
get to talk with his therapist?
So for as the parent, we set that up for the first session. We set up a quick call with the parent just to kind of go over the format of what the therapy will look like, and how that'll go over the next couple weeks or months, however long it would be, that would be most beneficial to your son. And so depending on your availability and the therapist, we can set that up either every week or every other week. But you would check in with a therapist just on a general client report, update progress, but nothing personal that's within the sessions themselves. So anything Noah says between him and the therapist are kept private, unless, of course, he does say something that he is in immediate danger of hurting himself or anybody around him. If that is the case, we are mandated to report that. And of course, as the emergency contact, we will contact you. But on any other occasions, if, say, we don't hear back from him, he doesn't attend his session, we would also reach out to you for those situations.
Great, great. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so now I just want to go over a little bit about what he's feeling to the best of your ability that you can answer. Do you feel that he's feeling depression, anxiety?
He's a teenager. He doesn't tell me much, but he has not been sleeping normal hours. He's up at 5 in the morning and is sleeping in until 2 or 3, and he's not really eating the way he used to, and he hasn't been wanting to play any of the games, like video games, or go for walks, or any of the things he usually likes to do.
Okay. Have you heard him say anything about suicide or having thoughts about it?
Well, this morning Noah was on the computer, and I saw him Googling things about suicide. So that was what prompted the call, and they said I could call, but they weren't as they didn't want to talk yet.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Did you notice if he has any signs of self-harm?
I didn't see anything.
Okay. If I would suggest just noticing his behavior online, of having a conversation with him, and it's going to be a tough conversation, but we just have these conversations to make sure that our loved ones are safe and are doing okay, just to kind of establish their risk. So if possible, I would suggest having that conversation with him and asking him directly, I noticed you were, looking up things online about suicide. Are you having thoughts like that? And if
confront him, and he said he wanted to die, but that he wasn't planning on doing anything. He said he's thought about pills or jumping, but that he's not sure. And there's a part of him that wants to die, and there's another part that doesn't. But that we talked about it a little bit, and then he was like, "Okay, Mom, I'm done."
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. So at this point then, knowing that information, I would suggest that you make sure that you're with him. You live together, correct?
Yes, we do.
So I would just make sure that you're, together until we can get an appointment for him, which I should be able to by the end of the week, but over the next couple of days, especially if you see that he's feeling much worse, and maybe he is planning on, going out or going anywhere that may concern you, just make sure that you're with him. if possible. But if you're very concerned that he's going to do something, we do suggest that you visit the emergency room. It's not a pleasant experience. We are aware, but we want to make sure that their safety is paramount. So at that point, it is important for them to go to the emergency room. But if he can be okay with you in your house for the next couple days before we can get him talking to a therapist, that would be great, that we can, set him up with this support as soon as possible. So you can let us know and give us a call if anything does change before that appointment.
I think he'll be okay. I mean, he sounded okay with getting a therapist, and that was his preferred option besides going to the hospital.
Okay, no problem. All right, so I just have just a few more questions here for you. Has he ever been admitted to a psychiatric hospital in the past?
No, he has not.
Okay. Do you know if he's currently taking any medication?
No medication.
Okay. And do you know if he's experienced any losses recently?
My husband and I got divorced 3 years ago, and I think that was a significant loss. And I think the loss of school and not getting to see friends every day has been really hard.
Okay. Thank you for that. And do you know if he has any active addictions?
I hope I would know, but I don't think so.
Okay. And do you know if there's any intellectual disabilities that we should be aware of?
No.
Okay, great. So that's all the questions that I have on my end, all the information that I need. So at this point, I'm just going to take a look at our schedule, and I'm hoping we can get back to you with an appointment as soon as possible. I'll give you a call in the next 5 minutes, just so I can check that for you. But if you have any other questions, I can answer them now or in the next 5 minutes if you just want to take a breather after that. I understand these calls can be heavy, so reach out anytime. But if you have anything right now, I'd be happy to talk to you about it.
No, I'm just excited for him to get an appointment as soon as available.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm gonna check our schedule and I will give you a call back in the next 5 minutes. So we'll leave it there and I'll be in touch very, very shortly.
Great, thank you so much.
No problem, Donna. Take care. Bye.